Good morning. Shalom. Good morning. Shalom. Hello, everyone. How are you guys today? I just wanted to take this time and come to you guys and do this video. I wanted to thank everyone for subscribing to my channel and liking my videos. I've been working a lot, but I'm going to definitely actively continue to try to give you guys some things every day and make sure that I stay up on this channel. This is a channel that I want you guys to all follow and subscribe and definitely like. There's going to be a lot of different things that are going to be talked about on this channel. Today, I just want to come to you guys and give you like some quick things here. Some things that I encountered kind of this week and I've encountered before previously kind of as a parent. And this is some things that are kind of taboo. People don't really like to talk about them. People are so reserved now as the issues that we are dealing with. A lot of people don't like to talk about these things. They're scared to bring some of these issues to the forefront. But these are the things that our children are dealing with and are afraid to talk to us about. These are the things that our children are wrestling with, that are afraid to speak about. These are the things that we should be worried about, are the things that are not being spoken about. So I just want to first kind of give you some insight as a person, as a parent, as a mom, as a friend, because all of those bases are going to be covered in this video. Um, I don't know, for all my new subscribers, I'm Stephanie. Hi. A lot of people call me Katria. Um, I am a mom. I have three beautiful children. I have two sons that are 9 and 8, and I have a teenager in 28 days. She will be 13, but this is something that I've seen a lot in our youth. Um, it's been something that I've kind of spoke with her about before and some of her friends and things like that. So it's definitely something that is going on that is not being really addressed or handled. Um, Now my teenager, she's 12 right now. She is a very outgoing young lady. So I don't know if I would bridge the gap and call her popular. I might. She's pretty popular. She has a lot of friends. Everywhere we go, somebody knows my daughter. It's almost like I don't know how some children have this many people that know them. It's utterly and amazing all at the same time to see how children kind of bond, you know. And I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying to get this right. Okay. To kind of just see how children and teenagers and youth are when we, as their parents, are not around. You would be shocked the things that kids do. So, this is a touchy subject. As an adult, first, I will say, I'm sure every adult person has dealt with sadness, and we've all probably been in a place where we've been depressed before. I won't say that everyone has been in a place where they've been suicidal, but there are a lot of people who have dealt with those things: suicide and depression. That seems to be something that is running so rampant right now in our community and among our adults, as well as our youth and our children. So I just want to kind of let you guys know about a situation that I was faced with and kind of my perspective on it as an adult, as a woman, as a mom, as a friend, as a person who in my community, I like to help people. I have a heart for people. I always have. So people are very important to me because everything should be about togetherness, us being on one accord, us um, striving to all get along, to live in peace. We all know that's not really the case, and that's not really the circumstances. I am pretty sure there are going to be some people that's not going to like this video. I'm sorry. I am not the type of person that says things to walk kindly. I don't put things in a way people like them. I'm a very real person. I'm a realist. And so this video may upset you. That's okay. Still like and subscribe to the channel. Share the video because you never know who needs to hear it. You know, you never know what somebody's going through. And that is with all honesty. In this world, we never know what someone is going through. We don't know what people are dealing with when we are dealing with them or speaking to them or things like that. So I am over 30. I won't tell my exact age. I'll just say I am over 30. I have been through a lot of different things and I've seen a lot of different things. As a mother, kids are so nice. Children have become almost like terror to each other. Children do not understand some of the things that we understand as adults because we have been through certain things. We've gotten older, so we are a little more understanding. Some of us know that you can't say everything that comes to your mind, but children and younger youth, they don't really understand that. They're not in that place where they understand that they shouldn't say everything that comes to their mind. So kids are cruel. Everybody knows that. When we were in school, I'm pretty sure everybody who had to go through a school experience had been talked about. They have been made to feel bad. I remember when we were younger and people used to say, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt. I can honestly tell you as an adult, whoever felt like words never hurt, they definitely lied. Everyone has had someone say something to them that has hurt their feelings. If you've never had someone hurt your feelings with something that they've said about you, I don't think you're being honest. Let's just be completely honest. Everyone has had someone say something to them that has hurt their feelings. And you may forget about it, but sometimes you don't forget about it. And you carry those words around with you. Words are things that always stick with the person. If someone calls you crazy or if someone calls you stupid, if someone calls you something, you're going to always remember that that person said that. Words are not like things that just poosh, magically disappear. That's not realistic. Children have not developed the type of emotions that we have developed as adults. So when your child goes to school, if someone says, oh, your tennis shoes are ugly, and they're making fun of your child, please believe that those words are affecting your child. Even though your child may not tell you about them, those words are affecting them. Every day that they're going to go to school, they are going to think about that. It develops in their mind. They develop a perspective of themselves based on what people say to them and based on what people make fun of them about. Some parents are not in a financial place where they can buy their children some of the things other children. Everybody's lifestyle is different. So I teach my children that you never know what someone is going through. So I teach them to not say certain things because you don't know what those other children are going through. When you've experienced a lot in your life, you try to instill those same characters into your children because children are not nice. They are very, very cruel. So if your child is dealing with depression, it may not be something that they know how to approach you about as their parent. They may not know how to come and say, Mom, Dad, I'm having feelings that I don't understand. I don't know how to express how I'm feeling. Depression is very real in our youth. Depression is something that they are all dealing with. Depression is something that as an adult I've dealt with. If you can deal with depression as an adult and it's hard to handle, imagine how a child dealing with a depression would react and how they would feel. Because depression is something that it doesn't just go away. You have to deal with the feelings and the issues behind it. Depression can easily turn into suicidal thoughts. There are so many youth, like I live in Texas, and I was looking at some statistics last night before I did this video. I just wanted to see for the year of 2018, how many youth have committed suicide. And there is almost like a The rate of children, it was actually really alarming. It was frightening. Just in the last 6 months in the city where I live, there have been, I think it said 68 suicides in the age group of children between 7 and 15. 7 and 15. 67 to 68 children have killed themselves. Depression is real, guys. Okay? Suicide is it's real. Now, the situation that caused me to make this video. I have a daughter. Again, I told you she's a preteen. In 28 days, she will be a teen. Um, Her best friend, same age. They're seventh graders. Expressed some things to my daughter and kind of spoke about wanting to harm herself. And as a mom, I tried to basically comfort my child and give her encouraging words for her friend. This is not a video that I'm going to use much reference from the Bible, but I will give you this much. We do not wrestle against flesh and blood. Anyone who has been raised in a church setting, you know that we are wrestling things of the supernatural in this world. Everything that we face is not going to be of flesh like us. There are things out here that these children are up against that we are not experiencing because we're not walking in a school setting. To me, school is just like prison. I'm not going to, hey, I'm just going to be serious. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to give it to you guys real unrated because my thing is this is something that's running through our communities. If we don't get a hold on some of the things that are going on, look how many children are going to lose their lives. How many children are having thoughts of suicide that we don't even know about? Do you want to be the parent that one day it happens to you? I don't want to lose my children because I wasn't willing to speak up on the things that are taboo, because I wouldn't listen to my child when they expressed to me, or because I was too afraid. I didn't, all of these things go through a kid's mind. What if nobody understands me? What if they think I'm crazy? It's like, as parents, we have to talk to our children. Do you know the time that we're in? Kids will watch a group of kids pick on one kid, hit this kid, throw stuff at this kid. I've seen videos of kids getting spit on. One kid they were throwing toilet water on this child and people were laughing and they were videotaping rather than somebody saying, hey, you guys, stop doing that. That's not fair. That's not okay. We're not in a place where kids are doing that. The kids are laughing. They think this shit is funny. So here's the thing. When your children are facing that every single day, how do you know that your child is facing that if they're not speaking to you about it? If they come home and they're reserving, they're pulling away, they're withdrawing, they're going to their room, they're not wanting to speak, they're not wanting to talk, they're not in a place where they're speaking to you, they're not telling you what's going on. How do you know what your child is enduring if you're not talking to them about it? If you're not trying to get into your kid's head, hey, my kids will tell you, I ask 100 questions. I'll wait a week and then bring the same damn questions back up to see if I get the same answer because I want to know what's going on in their mind, because children are not going to just come forth and tell you everything. You have to be the type of parent that picks. Yes, it may seem like nitpicking, but it's very important, because if you don't get into your kid's head and find out what's going on in their life, you will not know where your kid stands mentally. Your child could be thinking about killing themselves because they go home and they go straight to their room because you don't know what they're dealing with at school. Yes, we have to work, we have to parent, we have, jobs, we have sports, we have everything, but you have to make time to speak to your children, not once a week. I do it every day. What you do at school today? What happened? Did somebody say something to you today? Is anybody messing with you? These are things that you need to ask. I am that parent that will come up to the school. I will talk to the principal, the teacher, the child, whoever, because these things are out of control. They're out of control. They are out of control. When I was younger, there was so much, our community, the people of color, us black people, whatever you classify yourself as. Some of y'all that know me know I don't classify as that. So for this video's purpose, I'll just say us African American people, our families, when we grew up, they were real hush hush. You better not tell nobody what's going on in my house. You better not be telling nobody what, that's what we grew up with. Whatever happened in my house, stay in my house. I'm guilty of that when I was younger, telling my kids whatever happened in our house, stay in our house. But hell, if what's happening in your house is hurting you, somebody need to speak the hell up. Because when I was younger, I wish somebody would have more so told me, if something is going on that you need to speak about it. Get it out. Because we've raised our kids in this society where we don't want them to tell shit. And now our children are killing themselves because they feel like they can't talk. They're scared to speak. They don't have a voice because you've always endowed in them to not speak about what's going on outside of your home. That was really big when we were growing up. Do you know the percentage of children in the black community who were molested, who were touched by their own family members? But because we were told to not talk about the things that happened in our home outside of there, we have grown up damaged. We are damaged goods because we've grown up dealing with sexual assaults, physical assaults, mental assaults. Do not believe. If you believe that you're crazy as hell. If you believe the things that somebody says to you do not affect you, you're crazy as hell. You're crazy. If someone drills something in, when I grew up, I used to have someone tell me all the time, you're going to be crazy, just like somebody else that I knew. You're going to be crazy just like them. I got picked on a lot about weight. I've always been a heavy girl. Like, I've always been a big girl, okay? Anybody know me know this. People that know me in real life is going to watch this. They're going to be like, yeah, I've always been a big girl. I always thought it was cute, though. Like, being a big girl and how I felt about myself, like in my mind, I've always been a skinny girl. Don't laugh, y'all. I'm serious. In my mind, I'm a big girl, like on the outside. But in my mind, bitch, I'm only like 100 pounds. I'm about 130, baby. I've always had this crazy side of me. Like, people calling me fat and shit didn't really affect me. Like, that wasn't the type of stuff that bothered me. What people said about my outside, or because I didn't dress like all the other kids when I was in school. My parents had their own style of how they dressed me and my little brother. So, no, we never looked like the other kids because our parents dressed us in a certain way. My parents were more reserved. We were raised in a church setting, so no, I wasn't always in the newest little cute knickknacks and stuff because my mom was more reserved. She liked me to look like a lady, and that's fine. That's how I raised my daughter. You're not gonna be out here half naked. We don't. People are crazy. Okay, so I used to get picked on based on my weight because that's all people really knew about me on the outside. Was you was fat. Okay. I like to eat. I'm going to always probably be fat. I can honestly say that at 30 plus, I'm still a big girl. And I'm still cool with that. I'm completely cool with being a big girl. But say your daughter is 12 and she a big girl and she been getting called fat for the last year. And now it's starting to bother her. So she wants to kill herself because she's tired of being called fat. Or they're talking about her shoes because she's not wearing Jordans or Huaraches. Hey, let me tell y'all something. I didn't know what the hell a Huarache was until my daughter asked me for some, okay? I don't keep up with that kind of stuff. I work a lot. So I really didn't know what the hell some Huaraches was. I just remember my daughter asked me for some for school. So I went to go find her these damn Huaraches. And I was like, them hoes like $100 a pair. So, okay. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying. Some parents, we don't keep up with the stuff that children are doing. So we don't really know. You find out some stuff through your children. Like, if I didn't have children, there were so many things I probably wouldn't even know about. But because I have my babies, I find out about all the newest trends, dances, all that. Stuff I really don't even care about. I find out because of my babies. But here's the thing. I've also developed where I listen to everything my kids want to tell me because it's important. Even if to me it's not important, it's important enough to them that they came home and talked to me about it. So I'm going to shut my ass up and I'm going to listen to my babies. Because whatever they're telling me, it must be important to them that they want to come home and tell me. Sometimes there's times where I can tell something's going on and I have to kind of ease it out of them. But it's important that they know that you're willing to listen to them. Because if you're not willing to listen to them, then who is willing to listen to them? Who's going to be there when they're crying about what they're dealing with, or if they're trying to tell you about somebody bothering them or something like that? Who's going to be willing to listen if you, the parent, is not willing to listen? If you're so busy with your life that you can't take 20 minutes out of your time to listen to your child, who's going to do it? Nobody. Nobody. So back to what I was saying about growing up. People, we cannot keep telling our children that what happens to them is a secret. People have grown up. A lot of people are walking time bombs. That's a nice way to put it. Walking time bombs, right? Because of the things they've encountered in their life, because they've been through things, because they're scared to talk about it. They're scared to get a therapist because they feel like, oh, that's embarrassing. I'm not going to tell another adult person what I'm going through or what I'm dealing with. I'm not going to talk to somebody and tell them my business. You know, that's where we are. People are afraid. They're embarrassed to talk about the things they've been through. But my thing is, if we don't talk about it, who's going to help us heal? How are you going to heal if you don't speak about it? I'm not ashamed. I've been sick and almost died. I'm not ashamed. I have grown up in a place where I dealt with being molested at a young age. I've dealt with that. So I know the depression that comes along with that. Have I ever thought about committing suicide? Multiple times. And it was hard to step out and tell someone, hey, these are the feelings that I'm having. These are the emotions that I'm going through. I need help. Admitting to someone else that you need help is usually the hardest part. Because you're ashamed, you're scared on what those people are going to think about you, you're scared someone is going to judge you. Who cares what somebody else thinks about you? What someone else is going to say? Because if you don't get that help, if you don't get those things out and put those things on the table, it could cause you to live every single day with those things playing in your mind. And then you're one of the people that we see on the news who've committed suicide at a young age because you didn't know how to deal with your past, your demons, the things you've had to face, whether they were your fault or not. A lot of things that we go through at a younger age, those things are not our fault because we're younger, we're youth, we're children, we can't really control that. But those things will affect our adult lives. Back to my child's friend. Her friend is 12. I told my daughter, like I told you guys, I told her, you need to encourage your friend. Keep talking to her. Tell her it's okay. Now, because we are a spiritual family, I tell my daughter, give your friend scriptures. Give her encouragement. Tell her it's okay to speak out. It's okay. She has support. Rather than her being 12 and take her own life, I'd rather her talk to us. If she's not comfortable talking to her mom, if you know a child and they don't seem like they have a good relationship with their parents, that could mean something is going on between them and the parent. They don't feel comfortable talking. I always try to be as a parent, all my kids' friends feel comfortable enough to say certain things to me because I'm the type of parent that my kids are probably like, man, my mama always listens to me. Do I get upset? Of course I get upset, but I maintain how I feel personally to deal with the issues that are at hand because I don't want to lose a child. I try to instill in my children what other people say about you. Yes, it will hurt, but it doesn't affect who you are. Clothes don't make you people, okay? Clothes and shoes, socks, all that shit is going to be gone one day. How your hair looks is not what determines the kind of person you are. I've gone to the school because I'm in PTA. I am an active parent. I always have been. Since my children have been in school, I'm that parent that goes up to the school when they have tests. I like to volunteer. I take muffins. So I see your badass kid up there messing with other people's children. I've been in a school setting one time. They were having like the STAR testing. That's what it's called in Texas. It's like a test they give them in third grade to see if they have all the comprehension and skills to go to the fourth grade. And I remember hearing these kids. This was middle school. The school went from kindergarten to sixth grade, so it was a mixture of different ages. And I remember it was this one little girl. She seemed like she was a really good kid. I had seen her a couple times because she was kind of friends with my daughter or whatever. And she was really quiet. And I always noticed that she dressed, you could tell her mom may have been a single parent and they were kind of struggling, but she never just looked bad. You know, she kept her hair done. She at least tried to keep the clothes that she had, in nice shape and stuff. But you can kind of just tell when some kids are not at the same level as others. And I remember these little boys kept calling her, they were calling her dirty or poor or something. It was something they kept calling her. It was a specific word. I can't remember. This is about 2 years ago, but it was crazy that all the other kids were just laughing, and the little girl was trying to keep from crying. And so my daughter, and I'm just watching, I'm just a parent there, and I was just kind of filling out the situation before I decided if I was going to speak to the kids or not. And I remember I watched my daughter get up from where she was, and she walked over to the girl and gave her a hug, and the girl started crying on my daughter. And so when my daughter came home that night, I did say something. At the time, I was really close with this school's principal, so I told the principal so he could handle it. And I remember my daughter was like, "Mom, they do that to her all the time," and she said she was going to kill herself. Well, the sad thing, and I remember that young lady, she took her life, and I couldn't help but feel bad because I felt like if she would have had an outlet, if she would have had somebody to talk to, if she would have had somebody who would just stand up for her rather than laughing, other than my daughter, hugging her. Kids are so cruel. That's what I'm saying. We never know what the children are going through when they're not in our faces because it's running so rampant. I felt so bad when I found out about this little girl. This was 2 years ago. So at the time they were probably she was a little older than my daughter because she was a fifth grader and my daughter was like in fourth grade. So she was probably about 12 or 13 at the time. And if she would have had an outlet, someone she could speak to, someone that was willing to just listen to the things that she was going through, or that she didn't have that outlet because she didn't speak to, she took her own life. She took her own life. And that is so sad because there are so many children that are doing the same thing because they don't have support. They don't have someone they can talk to. They don't feel like it's okay to say, "Hey, this is what's going on." If you're a parent and you don't know what's going on, how can you fix what you don't know? Children that are being, let's say, molested, it's running rampant right now. It's running rampant at our homes. Our children are being molested and they're being told to not say anything. They're scared to speak out. We have to save our children. We have to take a stand as parents and tell our children some of the things we've gone through. If you have a child and you've never expressed your hurt and you've never expressed the things that you've gone through that had maybe put you in a depressed state, had maybe made you think about committing suicide yourself, if you've never at least talked to your children about those things, how can we expect them to know what to do and say? If they think we're perfect because we're their parents and they think we were never picked on or we're too afraid to admit our deep hurts to our children, it requires honesty in order to get honesty. If our children don't feel comfortable enough to talk to us, maybe they feel like they don't have nothing in common with you as the parent. Just because you're a parent don't mean you and your children are on good terms. Okay. And my definition, being on good terms may mean, okay, my daughter may hate me, but I know that if something happened to her, she trusts me enough and come tell me. I can put my last $2,000 on the table. She may not always feel like I'm her friend, and honestly, I'm not her friend. I was not put here to be her damn friend. And I could bring my daughter on this camera right now, and she will tell you my mama is not my friend. I'm her mama. I had her when I was 19, so we already been friends. I'm a parent. So I don't care if she like me. The Most High didn't bless me with her for me to be her buddy. He put her here for me to teach her about life. To ensure that when she leaves my house, she only got 6 years left, that she can take care of herself. That she'll know that she's beautiful. So when a little boy tells her she's beautiful, she won't just open her legs. I teach my sons that they're handsome and that no woman should put their hands on them. They're kings. It's not okay for a woman to touch a man. Do you know how many of our youth, male, are being touched and having sex and are being, it's still molestation. Okay, people? There are young men being molested that are too afraid to speak up about it because they think they're out the norm. Men are molested too, people. Young men are being molested too, people. It's not just our girls. Our young men are being taken advantage of as well. And they're scared to speak up because they feel like we're boys, we're men, we can't tell nobody. We need some men out here that's willing to say, look, young brother, I've been touched. I understand. I'm here. You can talk to me. I got you. We need some women that's not scared to say, yes, young lady, I was molested. I've been depressed. I've had suicidal thoughts, but I've dealt with it. Who is not afraid? If we don't stand up and help our children, nobody else is going to do it. Everybody seems to be so afraid. It's so taboo. But our children are dying at an alarming rate. It's scary. 68 children in a 6-month period in Texas. Please. Something has to change. Somebody has to get up and say, we need to do better. I'm not afraid. My daughter, she can tell me anything. I've told her my life story. I've never kept it. I've never been a parent that tried to tiptoe around things that I've gone through because I want my children to know what I've gone through. Your testimony. That's what they call it in the church. But I say it's your stripes. What you done been through. The things that you go through are what makes you who you are. And if you know who you are and you're comfortable with yourself, how can you not be willing to speak up to save these children, to save our youth, to save our future? Hell, if all the kids keep killing themselves, we won't have no future, will we? Because our children are our future. We getting out. We need some strong-minded children out here. We need some children that's willing to step up for their friends and they people that ain't even their friends and say, hey, quit messing with her. Stop bullying him. Stop touching him. We're going to tell on you. Or whatever you need to do. We're going to tell a parent. We're going to tell an adult. Something. Somebody has to say something. It has to stop, people. Who's willing to take a stand for our children? This video is not to, dictate on what we're doing, but it is to kind of put it out there on the forefront that is real. My daughter has several friends who have said that they have wanted to harm themselves. And these children are 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't need to tell who they are. These are children around me that I see all the time that are amazing children, A and B students, athletes. My daughter's an athlete. All her friends are athletes. These are kids who are athletes that are being bullied, talked about, harmed at home to where they want to take their own lives. And all I can tell my baby is to be an encouragement to them. Don't stop talking to them. If you got to pull them to the side and talk to them, that's what I tell her to do. Your life, our children's lives are important. We have to fight for our children. We have to fight for our future. We have to. If we don't put a stop to the bullying, to the whatever happens in my house, stay in my house. Our black community, we have that so bad. Whatever happened in my house, stay in my house. But if what happening to you children, I know some kids might see this. If what happening or whatever you're dealing with is hurting you, if someone is hurting you, it needs to go outside of the house so that you can get what you need. There's too many scarred and hurt adults out here raising other hurt and scarred people. I just wanted to bring that to the table. It's been on my heart for a few days, and I will really like some people who are about this cause to rally with me. Um, it's kind of hard to get certain things done when you don't have other people that feel like-minded about it. I don't want to see no youth pass away or harm themselves if it's not needed. We have to save our children. We have to save our children. So that means, as a parent, if you have to speak up about something that you've been through, you need to get to talking. Because if we don't save our children, the world don't have nothing nice for them. I just want to thank you guys for your time. I hope you guys all like and subscribe to this video. Share this video. I'm going to share it. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. Thank you.